Well, I want to thank you all tonight. We had a little bit of fun with that song that I was playing before you guys were coming on. I thought it was kind of cute just to kind of lead in. And even though it was like a fun song, it's pretty serious. Our eyes are very valuable and they're precious to us. And it's so important that we look after our eyes. And that's what we're going to help you understand is just the importance and how you can protect your eyes and how nutrition, diet, good quality supplements plays a really big role. And some of you know my story, but I was introduced to Neolife over 33 years ago. I was working as a police officer. I was tired, stressed, had hormonal issues. My mom had some health challenges with aches and pains and fibromyalgia. And someone shared these amazing products with us. And I was so grateful. We decided to take a look. I feel younger in my late 50s than I did in my 20s and 30s. My mom's in her late 70s. And I'd like to say that the good supplements and the food choices that we've made over the years have just given us a better quality of life and helping us to slow aging. Who'd like to slow aging? Well, that's where your eyesight comes into play. You need to give your body the proper nutrients to protect your eyes as we age, because there's certain things in our environment that destroys our eyes, and oxidative damage and poor food choices. And so I'm so excited to share some amazing stories with you over the next hour, and just good information to give you the best chance to keep your eyes as healthy as can be. And eye health agenda. So we're going to talk about itchy, tired eyes, glaucoma, cataracts, macular degeneration, retinal detachment, and some natural solutions to get your eyes healthy. And so when you're looking at itchy or tired eyes, which is very common, especially if you have allergies or you have eye strain or you're tired, just fatigue in general, and also infection, inadequate supply of oxygen to the cornea and the outer eye tissue. So this can cause itchy or tired eyes. So some things that you can do to help your eyes is deal with the cause of eye strain. For quick relief, you can close your eyes and apply a cold compress for 10 minutes as often as necessary. That tends to really help soothe things. Check medications, and because a lot of medication has side effects. So you really got to look at some of the effects of the medication that you might be taking. And drink adequate quantities of water. Water is a detoxifier. It just helps to flush toxins out of the body. So these are some of the things that you can do. There's so many nutrients in our food that really help, just provide good nutrition for the eye. And some of the nutrients that play a really big role in getting your eyes healthy are vitamin A, B, zinc, C, vitamin E. And you're going to hear some of these words like carotenoids, if you've never heard of them before, and polyphenols and omega-3s, alpha lipoic acid and flavonoids. So believe it or not, even though they sound like chemical names, they all come from food, especially your dark colored fruits and veggies. So we're going to talk about these as we go through our presentation. And now I'm going to have Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen, such a pleasure to have our holistic nutritionist join us this evening and just give us a better understanding on some of the challenges that we have and what we can do. Mary Ellen Vandenbrink.
Yeah, thank you, Nada. As you know, I was introduced to Neolife over 29 years ago. And I know working with the eyes, because you always say you can tell a person's health even by looking at their eyes. But one problem that I have a lot of clients have is floaters. And what that basically is little bits of tissue slough off from the back of the eye, and then it floats around. And so what it creates is lines or spots, and they kind of go across your line of vision, and it can make it sometimes a little difficult to see. And they often do reflect poor nutrition and accumulation of debris in the eye. So what do we do when we have floaters? Well, some of the diet suggestions are we want to eat a diet rich in protein and low in sugar. Because as we know, we always talk about, no matter what topic we're talking about, sugar is very oxidative and very and so much so for the eyes. And we want to eat fruits and vegetables, including leafy greens, because they contain vitamin K. Consume fish or other sources of omega-3 oils, and make sure if it's fish, it's clean fish. Salmon oil, lecithin, flavonoids, tray. These are some of the things we'll talk a bit more about later, but they play a big role in this situation as well. And of course, a good multivitamin, Formula 4 or Formula 4 Plus, or the Pro Vitality Pack. And this is a testimonial from one of my friends from my BNI group. And he was having eye floaters and they were causing him to see spots before his eyes. He was a professional photographer and it was so annoying. And so I introduced him to the tray and I started him taking 1 ounce a day. Okay. And it just disappeared. It took a little bit of time, but as time went on, it got less and less. And then it was interesting because he went to China because he was doing a photography trip there and he thought, oh, I don't want to bring the tray with me. I'll be fine. And he was gone about a week and a half. The eye floaters came back. So he got back on the tray and he's done really well with that ever since. So here, Nada, do you want to share how these whole grains play a big role even in eye health?
Yeah, you know, when we're going to talk about a lot of challenges that we have with eyes and all the nutrients that play a critical role. But one thing that we have to understand is we have to get our cells working properly. And we're made of 73 trillion cells. And the oils from grain play a really big role at the cellular level. They are the foundation for good health. We need to get our cells healthy, but they have destroyed our grains. Our grains are milled and processed. They are no longer whole. And this is what drew me to the company over 33 years ago, because I didn't understand the reason why we had fatigue issues and tired all the time was because of this issue. Oops, sorry. My PowerPoint is frozen. Are you guys seeing a frozen slide? Okay, I'll just keep talking and says wait for program to respond. But anyway, so I was really, really intrigued by this study. And what happened for me was I decided to try these grain oils from Neolife because it really helped me just with my energy and my fatigue. And as soon as I started taking the grain oils from Neolife, they changed my life. I realized that this was one of the greatest deficiencies in our diet, and it just filling the nutritional gaps was critical. Oops, nope, that's not the PowerPoint slide that I want. Sorry, guys, the technical difficulties tonight. Here we go. I think, can you see this now, guys? No, still not yet. Okay, I think I got to share my screen now. Give me 1 second. Hang on a second here. Sorry. I don't know what's happened. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. I think the recording's still going, so that's good. At least I won't lose the recording. So we're going to talk about different challenges we have with our eye and how these grain oils play a really critical role at the cellular level. And that's what we want to help you get across, is getting your cells healthy, and the grain oils are critical. You can see this now, guys? Awesome. So Treanan is the leader of cellular energy. And these grain oils that Neolife developed back in 1958 was proven to help your cells work better. And that's important. So even eyes have cells. Your whole body is made up of cells. And Treanan are the building blocks for cell membrane structure, brain and nerve function, and hormones. And without these grain oils in your diet, the cell membrane is not permeable like the cell on the left. As soon as you add grain oils to your diet, the membrane is healthy, it's permeable, nutrients can get in and waste can get out. So this is the foundations. You got to remember that. And this grain oils is in our foundation program that we're going to be focusing on this evening. And it's in this Vitality Pack. That first little capsule in this pack is called Treanan Grain Concentrate, and it will help your cells work better. So that's the foundation. We're going to dive into some of the other nutrients that are in this pack, but that's number one. Just remember, these oils are found in grain. They're no longer in our food. Our breads and our pastas and cereals have been milled and robbed of these good fats. So no longer in our diet. The only way to get it is you can eat non-rancid whole seeds, grains, nuts, and do all of that and find it in 550 calories if you want. But Treanan, just 1 Treanan a day is equivalent to eating that many grains. So this is a powerful nutrient to get your cells healthy. So one of the challenges we have, Mary Ellen, glaucoma.
Yeah, glaucoma is a big problem. So many people are being diagnosed with it. And there's definitely a lot of positive things we can do. So what are some of the causes? Well, it's damage to your optic nerve related to increased pressure. So that pressure is that the fluids in the eyeball exert on other parts of the eye. If the pressure is unrelieved, it can damage your retina and ultimately cause optic damage to the optic nerve, which can lead to vision loss and even blindness. So it definitely has to be taken seriously. So the most common type of glaucoma is the open angle chronic glaucoma. It's side peripheral vision, okay? It's usually affected first, so that's around the side. So you actually get like you can only see sort of through the center. In the later stages, it can lead to what they call like tunnel vision. So you can only see straight ahead, and eventually it can lead to blindness. The symptoms are gradual. They come on very slowly. So sometimes you don't realize your vision's being impacted till much later stages. Another type of glaucoma is the acute type called angle closure. About 10% of those with glaucoma have this type, and it's caused by a sudden rise in eye pressure. So that's often if the little sort of veins in your eyes or the tubes are too small, and then that can cause the pressure to go up. And some of the symptoms of that can be things like severe eye pain, blurred vision, all of a sudden a visual disturbance in your eyes, halos around the eyes, reddening of the eye, nausea and vomiting. And this one usually requires medical treatment. So if you have it, you have to go to the doctor right away and get surgery. So what are some natural solutions for glaucoma? Well, it's interesting because identification and elimination of allergies plays a big role, because allergies, of course, create inflammation and pressure. So our all-C vitamin C is great for improving the condition because it helps to reduce the pressure, and that's a key there. Our Beta-Guard contains chromium, and that helps focusing powers. And of course, the flavonoids support vitamin C function and aid in collagen formation and prevent that free radical damage. And I know salmonol is one of the big players here because it reduces the pressure. And of course, carotenoids, which are from the fruits and vegetables, prevent the free radical damage. And Tray, which is an antioxidant drink, contains alpha lipoic acid, which is really powerful, and flavonoids. This is an interesting study because there was patients who received 115 milligrams of alpha lipoic acid each day. 45 to 47% of the eyes had enhancement of color vision, visual fields, and visual sensitivity when compared to the controls. And more advanced cases had an even better response compared to their controls. So there is a lot of good science backing up that this alpha lipoic acid is very helpful for the eye. And this is our Tray, which is an incredible product. It's great. It's a liquid, so it's absorbed super fast, and it's a bioactive blend of all those polyphenols. You're hearing polyphenols a lot now talked in medical circles because they're so powerful. And this one contains extracts of pomegranate, acai, green tea, dark berries, and it's a broad range of them. And what's great too, it's standardized. So you know every batch has the same amount of polyphenols. And it's got antioxidants, and it's designed to support health, longevity, and even protect your brain, which is not a bad thing either. And it really tastes amazing. It's really delicious and very, very unique. And so what do these powerful antioxidants do? Well, they promote good health, which is so, so important. And it has 20 times the punicalagins of fresh pomegranate juice, 5 to 10 times the resveratrol of fine red wine, 7 times the antioxidant power of ripe red tomatoes, and 6 times the alpha lipoic acid of fresh spinach. So it is power packed. You'd have to eat a phenomenal amount of food to get the equivalent of one of those little shots.
That's why I love, and people think I'm drinking red wine, Mary Ellen, but I'm actually having Tray.
And now do you want to talk about
cataracts? Yeah, that's another issue that's a big challenge, because more than 300,000 Canadians suffer from cataracts, and 50% of people are between 54 and 65. And cataract surgery most common for people over 65. So antioxidants protect your eye. So picture when you cut an apple in half and the apple is exposed to air, it's oxidizing, right? Where our cells in our eyes work just like that. We're constantly being bombarded and getting attacked by these free radicals, these toxins and chemicals that are destroying and mutating our eye, causing damage. And there's certain nutrients that protect you from rusting from the inside out. So they're called antioxidants. And vitamin A, B, C, E, flavonoids, the tray that Marilyn was talking about, beta-carotene, selenium. We're going to hear a lot about carotenoids and even protein, believe it or not. The Neolife Shake that we're going to talk about also plays a critical role in protecting your body from oxidative stress as well. So these are some of the key nutrients that we're going to be focusing on and sharing with you this evening. But macular degeneration, 2.1 million people in Canada are diagnosed with some form of macular degeneration. So they lose their ability to read, drive, and see faces, and many freedoms and pleasures and joys, that people are dependent on. This is lost, right? All of these joys are lost, and independence is also lost as the person requires care and help. It's considered irreversible and incurable. So this is something that we really need to take seriously and protect your eyes as best you can. And some symptoms are blurry, are fuzzy vision, straight lines such as sentences on a page, telephone poles or sides of a building appear wavy. Darker empty areas appears in the center of the vision. And so when you're looking at the macula in macular degeneration, as we age, the small part of the retina at the back of the eye that provides sharpness in vision begins to break down, and it produces small white particles called drusen, which are seen in this picture. You can see the little kind of particles that are there. And these can be an early sign of macular degeneration, but they do not usually cause vision loss by themselves. And not all patients who develop drusen go on to develop macular degeneration. So it's just a sign. It's just kind of saying, hey, there's something going on, right? Wet macular degeneration, that's a form where the degeneration seen here in this photo, what it does, it affects about 10% of macular degeneration patients. The wet form of macular degeneration typically causes significant vision problems in the affected eye and can progress very rapidly, causing permanent central vision loss. So wet macular degeneration is caused by the growth of abnormal blood vessels at the back of the eye that can leak fluid and blood. And wet macular degeneration typically causes significant vision problems in the affected eye and can progress very rapidly and cause permanent vision loss. So this is a little more serious. So why do people get macular? Well, they've basically said it's natural with aging, genetics. If you have arteriosclerosis, so problems with your heart, hypertension, environmental toxins and smoking, exposure to direct sunlight, lack of lutein and xanthine. So you're going to hear a lot about these nutrients in our diet. Xanthine is a nutrient that's found in your dark colored fruits and vegetables, right? So a talk on fruits and vegetables, guys. So we're going to be focusing on that. And also trouble if you're dealing with estrogen imbalance and early menopause and gender. So these are the nutrients that we're going to talk about to how to protect your eye and to slow down some of the damage that can be happening to the eye. So it's important to increase some of these nutrients in your diet, legumes and yellow vegetables, flavonoid-rich berries such as blueberries, blackberries and cherries, foods that are rich in vitamin E and C, such as raw vegetable fruits and vegetables. So these are just some of the nutrients, some of the foods that contain these powerful nutrients. Now I'm going to play a wonderful testimonial that our friend Bob Pearson shared with us many years ago, and it's a beautiful story. So I just want you to hear this: how carotenoids help with macular degeneration.
I had been really afraid of this macular degeneration more than anything. This was still, I knew I was going to go blind.
Because they say there's no cure, right?
There's no cure. There's nothing you can do. We just hope it's slow growing and it doesn't, get any worse quickly, and it just is slow.
Right.
So anyway, every time I went in, I bugged them about my macular degeneration, even though I was going in for the pressure eye.
Right.
And I had come over to Bob Pearson's with my daughter. She was picking up some vitamins, and I was told that I should be taking carotenoids. And within 3 months, my macular degeneration was gone. Because I kept bugging them to look. They dilated my eye every 2 weeks, and Dr. Seidel would say, it's not possible. He said, your macular degeneration's gone. And my daughter was with me, and he'd say, look, it's not there. Well, she didn't know, but she said, we were all just so thrilled. I mean, you can't believe. Went back to Dr. Cherney. I said to him, he did a whole examination on my eye, and I said, you know, Dr. Cherney, I don't have macular degeneration anymore. He went clear back in all of his notes, and he found out where he had said it, where Dr. Lorenzen had showed all this, and from the past papers that they had on me from the other ophthalmologists that had given me the synthetic vitamins. And he said, I don't know what's happened. And I said, well, I do. I said, I've been taking carotenoids. And he says, you give me the name of, because he examined my eye and he saw.
This was Dr. Cherney?
Cherney, and he said, it's gone. And so he looked back and he saw that he'd said it, that Dr. Lorenzen, who works for him, and Dr. Seidel, that they had said too.
So it was very well documented.
It was so documented that Dr. Cherney he was so he's such a laid back, wonderful person, and he was so laid back, and he jumped up and he said, he called in I don't know her name, the technician, right. And he said, get a pencil and paper, and I want you to write everything down. She told me where to go to get her vitamins, to get these carotenoids, and the address and the phone number. Well, so I'm sitting there and I said, well, it's Bob Pearson, it's Neil.
First ophthalmologist
there's other stories and other testimonials and that Bob shares, and I just wanted to share that with you because it's a powerful story. And carotenoids are made from those dark colored fruits and vegetables. And, you know, they say that we should be eating anywhere from 9 to 13 servings a day, right, Mary Ellen? That's a hard thing to do. I know we try. We've been talking this for many, many years, and it's hard to eat that every single day. So that's why this wonderful product called Carotenoid Complex is just a great product to fill the gap. Like one of these capsules that's in that vitality pack that we're talking about is equivalent to consuming 80 pounds of raw fruits and vegetables in every box. And it's made from the tomatoes and carrots and peppers and spinach and apricots and peaches. So even one a day is powerful. If you have a condition, you can take more, but it's just like eating more dark colored fruits and vegetables. And it was proven to boost your immune system 37% in 20 days. Published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and presented at the New York Academy of Sciences. So remember when I said, you were rusting from the inside out, and it's the oxidative damage that causes the damage? Well, the carotenoids protect you. These are powerful antioxidants, and this product was even patented. So eating foods that are rich in lutein and zeaxanthine is proven to lower your risk of macular degeneration. And again, we need 9 to 13 servings a day. We're just not getting it. And federal surveys have found that the average North American consumes only 2 milligrams of lutein daily. That's very, very low. Published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and powerhouse antioxidants. You need these for your eyes. And what does the science say about lutein and zeaxanthine? Well, a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets higher in lutein and zeaxanthine resulted in improvements in both macular degeneration patients in a control group. Okay, a lot of big words, guys. So I'm trying to talk fast only because there's so much to cover. So I apologize if I'm stumbling a little bit. But a study in the Archives of Ophthalmology found participants who ate the most foods containing lutein and zeaxanthine had a 35% lower risk of developing macular degeneration than those who ate the least. So again, eating lutein-rich spinach every day for 6 months was enough to improve the vision of people already suffering from macular. So food is your medicine. And if you can't get it all from your food, then supplementation is just that, filling the gap as to what's missing in your food. And also a study showed that those who reported the highest intake of vitamin C and E and carotenoids and zinc, again, significantly less likely to develop macular. And oranges and mangoes and strawberries for vitamin C. Then you've got turkey, chicken, and pumpkin seeds for zinc. almonds, peanut butter, or supplements for vitamin E, sweet potatoes, apricots, and peaches for beta carotene. So again, there's a lot you can do with your food. So when you're supplementing with carotenoids and eating the right foods, you just have a better chance of keeping your eyes as healthy as can be. So what's your best source of lutein and zeaxanthine? Well, kale and spinach, turnip and collard greens, romaine lettuce, broccoli, zucchini, Brussels sprouts, peas, and egg yolks. So these are the main foods. But again, the foundation of our Pro Vitality pack. So in this amazing pack, you're getting your tran engrain concentrate, you're getting your carotenoids, an omega-3 that we're going to be talking about a little bit later, and a multivitamin. So this pack just helps to fill those nutritional gaps in your diet. Now, Mary Ellen, you have a powerful story and one of your amazing friends and an amazing business partner.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Susan to come on because she's had quite a great experience with her eyes. Susan, do you want to unmute and share your story?
Okay. Hi. I was about 9 years old when I was told that I had stigmatism and nearsightedness. And as I aged, my eyes kept changing. It was always for a stronger prescription. So, and I also developed the floaters. In 2009, when they introduced the tray, I started to take the tray. And with 1 year being on the product, my stigmatism in one eye was gone when I went to the optometrist. And he said the other eye had improved as well. I found my eyesight was also sharper, and I also had less floaters. And so I found my eye stabilized. And I've only had like slight prescription increase, very little since 2009. But I know most of you don't know this, but I was having problems also with the halo at night, around the lights. I found it was getting more pronounced when I was night driving. And I know a lot of people do get that. So what I did was when they introduced Upbeat, I started taking the Upbeat, and I was doing like usually one a day, but it was 1 to 2 a day. And I noticed lately my eyesight is so much sharper at night, and I have less halo around the lights, the stoplights. So I'm very happy for that, because it's very annoying when you're driving and you see the halo around the lights, but I find that it's a lot sharper, and that was by introducing the Upbeat as well. So I'm very happy that things are improving instead of going the other way.
Thank you so much, Susan. That's a great story. And it just shows that, just to clarify, these products don't, treat, diagnose, or cure any disease, but it's amazing what the body can do when it's got the right support.
Yeah, and Mary Ellen, I'm glad you talked about, or Susan talked about the Upbeat, because it's a product that we weren't going to be sharing tonight because it's such a new product, and we're starting just to get stories and testimonials on the Upbeat, and it has the red spinach in there as well. That is powerful, right? And kale. So all of that to help with eyesight. So thank you so much for adding that, Susan, because we haven't been getting any stories because it's just such a new product launched in July. So I think the stories are going to start coming in. So thank you so much for sharing.
And the tray is, again, just to review, that bioactive blend of those polyphenols from the pomegranate acai and green tea. And it's designed to support all the functions, including eye health. So it's so important, and it's easy to take. It tastes so good. You can even mix it as with some San Pellegrini, and it's like a treat just having it. It tastes delicious. And these good fats are so important, because scientists have discovered that people with macular degeneration can actually slow down the disease by eating 1 serving of nuts a week. And a lot of people are afraid of nuts. Oh, it has so many calories or whatever, but there's so many good fats in there. And omega-3 from fatty acids from fish are also so beneficial in eye health. And one thing you really want to make sure and do is really avoid trans fats. And, it's amazing. Like I even look at, good quality yogurts that say organic, and you look and it still says per serving that there's trans fats in there. And so, that that's a lot of trans fats in that product. And also be careful how you cook your foods. Frying foods creates trans fats because again, you're altering the fats. So you definitely want to avoid any fried food if you have macular degeneration. And so what's the solution to that omega-3 gap? Well, my most favorite product, because as you know, this helped me so much with my migraines because of the inflammation, but is the Neolife salmon oil. And I'll tell you, there's tons of salmon oils on the market. People show me them all the time, but I haven't seen any that have a clinical study showing they reduce inflammation 68% in just 8 weeks. And this was published in, peer-reviewed journals. And also most products only test for maybe 5 contaminants. Well, where Neolife tests for over 200, and it's complete. It has all 8 parts. Most of them just have EPA and DHA. And I tell you, a lot of the way they extract the oils, they use a chemical. And that chemical, if you squeeze that product on a styrofoam plate, will actually burn a hole right through. And I tell you, I've never seen a piece of fish do that if it's a natural piece of fish, that's for sure. And so just to sort of summarize some of the supplements that are helpful, we talked a lot about the carotenoids tonight because they contain that lutein and zeaxanthin, and they protect the retina from UV light damage. And as you know, like especially with the eyes, if you do not wear sunglasses and you're in the sun, you are doing oxidative damage to your eyes. Salmon oil plus, very important because of the components of the rods and cones of the retina, which enable vision. The flavonoids, those are all the vibrant fruits and vegetables like the berries. They support capillary strength and collagen within the eyes. Vitamin A, so important, even especially for people with dry eyes. It's important for promoting normal eye moisture and night vision. Do you know how many people I see walking around with those eye drops all the time? And I'm sure just a little bit of vitamin A would help to help that situation. Zinc is also very important for retina health because it's very important for immunity. Magnesium also for healthy blood flow to the eye because again, if the muscles tighten. And chromium, that was in our beta guard, help maintain the normal blood glucose levels because you think about if your blood sugar is all over the place, you're going to be creating oxidative damage, and especially to the eyes. That's why diabetics have to be so careful because they can go blind from diabetic retinopathy. It's very, very important. And it plays a huge role in normal lens clarity. So Natalie, you want to share Violet's amazing story?
Yeah, when I met Violet, she was really worried, and she shared this with me, and we started her on a healing journey. So I'll let her share her story.
Hi everyone, my name is Violet Abraham, and I had serious issues with my eye. And how it started was I couldn't see through that right eye, and reading was a problem, seeing was a problem. So I went to the doctor to get a pair of glasses. And when they examined, they found out my right eye retina was detaching. It was a serious problem, and it was a major surgery. So I had to immediately go through a major surgery to attach the retina. What they did was they used the silicone oil to attach the retina, and about 8 months I have to wait for the second major surgery to remove the silicone oil. So the first 8 months I couldn't see anything through that eye. But meanwhile, I was also tired all the time, exhausted. I didn't want to work, do nothing, sleep, and so forth. And when I started with the Neolife product, the first product I tried was Pro Vitality, and the vitamins really helped me to get over the tiredness, gave me a lot of energy. Didn't even take a month. It was less than a month. And so what I did was I added the vitamin A, salmon oil, and carotenoid, all 3 to take care of my eye because they also help heal my right eye. So when I went back to the doctors, they were really amazed and surprised how fast I was healing. and they wanted to know what I was doing. So I talked about Neolife products and the products that I was on, and they were very happy to hear. So I just wanted to make sure to take a few minutes to say that Neolife products really work well, and I'm grateful that they have these products because it really helped me. And so I just wanted to share this happy testimony with everybody. And with
There we go. She's such a sweet.
that, I
Oops. All right. So now let's talk about another testimonial. This is a dear friend of ours. Many of you have met her and know Lori Bateau. And when she called me and asked me what she could do, I don't think we had Trey. I think it was a fairly new product. And I said, why don't we try? Just try and see. So about a year ago, I went to Walmart to order my contact lenses. The optician asked me to come, sorry, I can't see it because of your faces, to come in for a routine checkup before he could release the contacts to me. He told me that I had a severe case of, okay, I'm going to try to say this, neovascularization, okay? And literally, it scared her to death, and it could not, basically he said he couldn't sell her contact lenses until her eye was healed. He said it was caused by overuse, and she literally was devastated. I remember when she called me and said, I need to wear contact lenses, but he told her that he probably could never have them again. This is when she started taking the Neolife's tray. After 4 months of drinking the tray, my eyes were better than ever. I was just at the eye doctor's, and she said that almost all of the veins are gone. I've been wearing my contacts on a regular basis for the last 6 months, and there's no trace of neovascularization. She told me to keep up with whatever it was that I was doing. As a matter of fact, she's now taking tray herself. So such a beautiful story. Again, just getting the antioxidants in her body to help with the healing and the repair. So Mary Ellen, why is all this happening? What's the challenge that's going on in this crazy world?
Well, as you know, like we have so many challenges now, and poor diets is one of them. And it's a lot of that is not all our fault. A lot of it is because of food processing, of what they're doing, how they grow the foods, but they're woefully inadequate in nutrients, which we need, right? So it's so hard to get everything that you want from your diet. Like I know even we asked Dr. First many years ago, and he said, you know, in the real world, if you lived on a farm, grew everything, had your own animals, it's possible, but the reality is nobody is doing it, right? And physical inactivity is a big problem. Can you put it back, Nat? Sorry. Physical activity, busy lifestyles, right? We're on the go. Who has time to, you know, like chop up 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day? Toxins in our environment are really hard on our, especially our eyes. Poor digestion, even if you're eating the best diet in the world, if you're not digesting, it's not going anywhere. So the problem and the solution is definitely both in the food we eat. But the problem is when you start looking at supplements, who do you trust? This was a University of Guelph study. And what they did is they went into health food stores and drugstores and tested the products. None of them met the label claims, right? And even we've got our, you know, recent studies on where they've gone into like the health food stores and drugstores, and they had inactive ingredients, they had toxins in them. So a lot of people say, well, you know, isn't it safer if it's in a store? Well, not necessarily. You have to make sure that the product's tested, the raw materials are tested. That's a really super important thing when it comes to, you know, the supplements that you're using, because number one, you want them to work, right? And here's the study I was talking about. There were 776 products were tested, and they had hidden active ingredients that are unsafe or unstudied. A lot of products do not list all the ingredients in the bottle. They just list a few of them, unfortunately. So when I was introduced to Neolife, the thing I was impressed with was it's been around since 1958. They've never had a dietary recall. They're in over 50 countries around the world, and they meet or exceed the health standards of every single one of those countries. And, you know, the whole philosophy is based in nature, but backed by science, because as we saw, food is the key to health, right? And these products are made from whole foods. and they've got good scientific backing. There's a lot of products I see that has a good looking doctor who just endorses the product. Neolife Scientific Advisory Board was founded by Dr. Arthur First, one of the top toxicologists in the world. And when he was doing his research in cancer, he found nutrients in food prevent disease, not just cancer, but many diseases. So he knew that food was the key. And that's why he joined up with Neolife in the 1970s. And he set up this prestigious board of, world-renowned scientists, researchers, doctors that are involved in the, in the research and development of these products. And some of them take up to 10 years to come to market. And in fact, on Saturday, 4 of them are going to be speaking at our wellness kickoff. So if you'd like to join, just let us know, because we can register you. It's free to join. It's a virtual event from 12 to 2. And you can hear right from the source, the leading scientific research that's going on in the world today.
Mhm.
And all of the ingredients are GMO free. So important. In Europe, they do not allow genetically modified organisms, but we do in North America. And I think we're really paying the price for it. They're altering our foods. So it's very, very important that these are not in the nutrients. And so Nana, do you want to sum up how we can get all these nutrients in our Pro Vitality?
Yeah, we're so grateful that all of the nutrients and all the food that Neolife uses, again, is non-GMO and filling those nutritional gaps in our diet. And so we talked about the grain oils, the TRANN and the carotenoids and the omega-3 and a multivitamin, all in this convenient pack. So it really is like the core nutrition. And then when you add the protein shake to that, it's just a powerhouse. So the carotenoids, again, we talked about the dark colored fruits and vegetables, equivalent to 80 pounds of fruits and vegetables in every box. We talked about the omega-3 fish oil. That also reduces inflammation, and it was clinically proven, tested for 200 contaminants. And fatty acids and retinopathy. This is the study that I was so grateful that I was able to show Violet, because when she read this study, she was so excited to increase the omega-3s in her program, because this is a study that was done by which the omega-3 fatty acids protects from age-related eye diseases, age-related macular degeneration, retinopathy, and diabetic retinopathy. She concluded that taking an omega-3 supplement to prevent the disease or slow its rate of progression may prove a better course of action than the current often painful therapies. As evidence for this, she cited an article in February 9, 2011 edition of Science Translational Medicine, co-authorized by SAB member Dr. Ariana Karugi, and she is one of our scientists on our scientific advisory board, which is so exciting, and in which the human clinical evidence component was drawn in part from our 2009 clinical trial on salmon oil plus. So this study on fatty acids and retinopathy in the New England Journal of Medicine, it was published. So again, this is related to age-related macular degeneration in women. So powerful. So again, that's the beauty of the science and just how powerful, and why we're so confident that the Neolife products are just powerful products. And other nutrients that also help with eyes and healing. We talked about vitamin A, because that helps to heal the mucous membranes, and it's water miscible, so will not build to toxic levels. And we have flavonoids, which are the citrus kind of fruits that we're not eating enough of. They're water-soluble antioxidants, and they protect the watery portion of the cell, which is on the inside, and the carotenoids protect the outside, which is the fatty portion of the cell. So it just protects, again, the fluids from oxidizing. Remember I told you, from rusting from the inside out. It also improves immunity and helps with age-related diseases as well. Then there's our chelated zinc, which again is pharmaceutical grade, natural raw materials, also very powerful for healing your eyes as well. And our Neolife shake tastes fantastic, no artificial anything, no preservatives, no gluten, 90% lactose free, again, GMO ingredient free, so important. So it really is the foundation and a healthy start to your day. So when you have a protein shake and a vitality pack, this kind of fills the gap in your diet. It's our core nutrition, it's our foundation. And then if you have other challenges, or if you're, been diagnosed with cataracts or macular You can always take extra carotenoids or extra salmon oil, and just reach out to the person that introduced you to this amazing company, and we can go over some of the nutrients that we think you might want to add, especially if your diet isn't as good as it could be. And we also have a vegan option in the Neolife shake, or the protein shake, called a vegan protein for those of you that are more plant-based. And these are our products that you can start with. You have our Vitality Pack, you have our breakfast solution, and then we also have our weight loss solution called our Shape Up Pack. So there's different options for you. But again, the core nutrition, the bestseller, is definitely our breakfast solution. And if you're curious to know more and hear some beautiful stories, powerful testimonials, when we're friends on Facebook, we can invite you to this amazing group called Neolife Healthy Living Community. There's over 10,000 members in this group, where you're going to hear more stories and testimonials, like very similar to what we shared tonight. So I would really encourage you to take a look at this group and just read these amazing stories that people have shared, life-changing stories. And there is one more option. If you are someone you know really enjoys helping others, like for example, myself, I was in a position where I knew I didn't want to be a police officer for the rest of my life. I wanted time freedom, wanted to start a family, I wanted to work from home, but I just didn't know how. But after the results that I got with these products in my family, I got excited and I started to share, and the income started to grow. So if you're curious about, you know, a little side gig, maybe making an extra $200 to $500 a month, or $1,000 a month, or possibly growing it into a career, just ask the person invited you, and we can definitely guide you in that direction. But if you're just, again, just wanting to come along board and get the products at a discount, you can become a member and get a 10% savings, or you can double your savings, get a 20% savings by becoming a Neolife Club member. It's a part of our wellness club. And if you're thinking about the business, we can definitely guide you in that direction. But if you just want to learn more, just join us at our weekly sessions. We do different presentations every Thursday. Join us on Saturday, like Mariella mentioned. Listen to our scientist, and you will really understand the Neolife difference and why these products impact people's lives all over the world. So I want to thank you so much for joining us this evening. I will stop the recording and open up to any questions that you may have. So thank you so much for joining us.